everyone, Jason Nunn, Fisherman's Warehouse, Tugwell, Mars Point. This Friday's fishing report. We've just arrived back from the after tackle show, Alex and I. A bit of a drive, but we've got back safely. Norwest winds out here at the moment, and it's great to see some blue sky. Was a little bit of rain on the way down, but looks like the weekend down in Newcastle is going to be perfect. West nor'westers up to about 15 knots, and there's going to be a little bit of showery southwest change on Monday. Not a lot of swell around. Ideal for the offshore angler this weekend. There were some great reports last weekend and into this week with some very nice snapper caught on our inshore reefs. Now, a lot of the reefs on the inshore, inside 30 metres, between Moon Island and Wyebung, all of those broken reefs down through that area there. Also up towards Merriweather, there's some really nice fish up there. And of course, I had an opportunity to hook up with Brent Hancock from Port Stephens Tackle World yesterday and done a little skit with him down on the water and helped him out. And we just had a bit of a 2-on-2 with his Port Stephens report. And you'll be able to see that if you get onto Brent's side and have a bit of a look and get an update what's actually happening at Port Stephens. The guys went out to the shelf last weekend. Not a lot of success. Gary Hoff got a short-billed spearfish, surprisingly enough. Just an indication of how warm the water is out on the shelf, around about 21.5 degrees. Had a marlin up as well. Very strange for late July. Luke on the Fifi, he went out and the boys went out and had a bit of fish also on the Sunday and got a dolphin fish. But the current is the problem. Even if you go wide out past 1,000 fathoms, it just doesn't think that those yellowfinners, there might be, look, if you go out there you might jag one, but the better water's still north and it just hasn't come down yet. The farm, however, has fished very, very well. I know Billy Gray was out there, got some beautiful snapper and some great trag, and that has continued right from the North Farm all the way down Texas Terrigal, where there's a lot of kings. Now the other thing is too, those barracuda that have been a little bit up and down, you will find little patches of them, but they're not detrimental to your jigging or live baiting. They are there, but you can tolerate them. You'll get through them, some beautiful kings, reds, and of course some lovely longfin perch. This weekend on the rocks, I think it's going to be ideal with those wind conditions. There's a lot of ludrick around and there's a lot of drummer, but one thing for sure, we've had continual reports over the last 3 to 4 weeks of snapper getting caught off the rocks. This is probably the first opportunity for most to get onto these rock platforms. Dudley Redhead in particular, a great spot for snapper, particularly South Dudley, of course going in towards Newcastle, in around Merriweather, those rocks in there, Bar Beach around Susan Gilmore, great spots. And of course, as we made mention there before, Catherine Bay, an excellent snapper spot. But it's great to see such versatility happening off the rocks. If you're going to get on the beaches, tailor around, but a lot of salmon. Strangely enough, we're already seeing a lot of brim and whiting mixed into these catches, which is quite unusual, but it's just an indication that water temperature is holding. A lot of salmon in the channel, of course. Tides this weekend, low tide tomorrow morning 9, high tide at 3, great afternoon tide tomorrow to get into them salmon. Again, a little bit patchy last weekend on the Sunday, but they got a lot of fish on the Saturday. But I reckon that run-in tide tomorrow afternoon will be perfect. Mixed in with these fish, however, from Taylor, and there's quite a few trevally. Now, a lot of these trevally have continued into the lake, and we're seeing a lot more reports of silver trevally getting caught in Lake Macquarie. There's still plenty of Taylor down south around Belmont Bay, between there, Pulver Island, over the back, and of course, as I made mention last week, there was some very nice fish up towards Toronto, that Carey Bay area. So right throughout the lake you'll find them. You need to locate the bait. Some really nice flathead around as well. And like I made mention for the guys on the rocks, a tremendous amount of ludrick. I was watching some guys poling some beautiful ludrick last Sunday, basically just where the cleaning tables were. There was big schools of fish there. Lucy's Wall's fishing well, as is down around Swansea Bridge. Strangely enough, there's even still quite a few squid now starting to return back into the lake. Now, something that happened as of Monday, which was the new fisheries size and bag limit on flathead, dusky flathead. You cannot take a fish now over 70 centimetres. So no fish to be kept over 70 centimetres. And where we used to have a bag limit of 10, dusky flathead has now been reduced to 5. So that has now come into effect. All in all, look, the tackle show was a great event. I think Alex and I got laid up. A lot of new products coming through. Most of these products will start to turn up in stores really from September, October through. Look forward to catching up next week. Hopefully the weather stays good, which I reckon it will. We'll talk under a blue sky. I'll see you next Friday.